So hi, good morning. Welcome to this another series lecture in statistics. So last time ang pinag-usapan natin is kailan ba dapat gamitin yung tinatawag nating measures of central tendencies, yung mean, median, at saka mode. So pag hindi mo pa napanood yung video na yon, please visit this link first. Okay? So in this video, ang pag-uusapan natin is ano bang ibig sabihin ng always na naririnig nating standard deviation. Okay? So let's get started. Okay, so yung standard deviation na always na naririnig natin is one of the measures of variation or variability. So, other statistics includes yung range, interquartile range, variance, at saka yung, of course, pinaka-common is standard deviation. So, let me discuss first, ano bang ibig sabihin ng variation? Okay, so yung naririnig nating variation is just the spread or the dispersion of your data. So, in this particular example here, sa illustration natin, so yung meron tayong malapad na daan at saka makitid na daan, di ba? So, yung sa malapad na daan, yung data, yung movement ng data mo, pwede siya dito sa left, pwede siya dito sa right, anywhere between the two endpoints. So, mas malapad yung dispersion niya. Okay, yung sa makitid na daan naman, masyadong napakakitid. So, yun lang yung dispersion na allowable of, hindi allowable, yung dispersion of our data. Okay? So, yan. So, let's take a look at the simplest statistic first. Yung tinatawag nating range. So, by definition, range is the distance of variation. So, it is the difference between the maximum and the minimum values. So, to get the range, just get the largest value and then subtract it with the smallest value. So, automatically, yun na yung range mo. Let's take a look at this example here. Okay. So, ito yung data set natin. 5, 10, 20, 10, and so forth. Okay? So, to get the range, so you just have to get the largest. So, yung formula natin, 20 yung pinakamalaki, and then yung 5. So, the range is just 20 minus 5 is equal to 15. Okay? So, same with mean. One of the problems with or limitation of using range is pag pumasok na yung tinatawag nating extreme values. Okay? So, we need to have a statistical measure that is resistant to extreme values. So, ito yung tinatawag nating interquartile range or IQR. So, let's take a look at this example here. So, again, we have an extreme value na 120. Okay? So, kailangan natin kunin yung IQR or interquartile range. Interquartile range, ibig sabihin lang yan, we have to get the value in the third quartile. And then the first quartile, subtract lang natin yan. Take a look sa basketball, okay? So, for example, kunin mo yung score ng team mo sa third quarter and then kunin mo yung score nila sa first quarter. Okay? I-subtract mo yung score nila sa third minus the first quarter, yan na yung tinatawag nating interquartile range. Okay? So, in this data set, paano ba natin kunin yung first quartile at saka yung third quartile? So, we have to use, okay, eto pala yung range nila and then let's take a look. Okay? Yung range ng may extreme value natin na 120, yung range niya is 115. So, napakalayo niya dun sa range natin na 15 because of this single extreme value. So, that's why we need yung tinatawag nating interquartile range. Okay. So, ito yung formula natin. We have the n plus 1 divided by 4. So, n natin is equal to 9. 9 plus 1, 10 divided by 4. That is equal to 2.5. Guys, take note, yung 2.5 natin is not our first quartile. That is just the position in our data set. Okay? So, to locate the 2.5, it is around here. So, same with median. Ang gagawin natin, we have to get the arithmetic mean of the two numbers na nasa gilid niya. So, that is 5 plus 5 divided by 2. So, that is equal to 5. Okay? So, for the third quartile, the formula is this one. So, 3 open close parenthesis n plus 1 divided by 4. Substitute mo lang, the value is equal to 7.5. Okay? So, of course, that is the position. So, saan ba yung 7.5 in our data set? That is between 15 at saka 20. So, to get the third quartile, you just have to get the arithmetic mean of 15 at saka 20. So, that is equal to 17.5. So, to get the interquartile range, subtract mo lang yung 17.5 minus the 5. So, that is equal to 12.5. Okay? So, now, let's compare the 12.5 na interquartile range natin compare dun sa range natin previously na 15. So as what we can see, hindi masyadong magkaiba yung value. Hindi masyadong malayo compared sa 15. Okay? In contrast with the 115 because of that particular extreme value. Okay? So now, let's take a look yung tinatawag nating variance at saka standard deviation. Yung variance at saka standard deviation, mag-asawa kasi yan. As what we can see in this formula here. So ito yung parang napakahirap na mathematical formula, but in this course, we will not do manual calculation kasi we will let the software do it for us. Okay? Our goal here is for us to properly interpret those statistical measures. Okay? So, ito yung variance natin, and then as what you can see below, to get the sample standard deviation, you have to get the square root of the variance. Yung variance natin dyan is S squared, and then yung S natin, that is the sample standard deviation. Okay? So, to properly illustrate, ano bang ibig sabihin ng standard deviation? Let us take a look at this figure here. So, yung mga X natin yan, assuming natin yan yung mga points natin, yung mga data natin, yung mga values natin in our plane. Okay? So, yan, 5, 10, 15, so something like that. So, one of the problems with or limitation of the range at saka interquartile range, hindi nila tinitingnan yung distribution of our data or concentration of our data. Okay? So, for example, in this particular case here, yung concentration ng data natin nandito banda. Okay? So, yan yung tinitingnan or kinukuha ng standard deviation natin. Okay? So, yan. For example, kunin muna natin yung mean. Ano ba yung average ng data natin? So, in this particular case here, hypothetically, yung mean natin is 5. Okay? So, from 5 ngayon, makikita natin yung deviation. Okay? Makita natin na yung may deviation na malapit lang siya sa mean, and then meron din deviation na napakalayo sa mean. Okay? Napakalayo din dito sa mean, sa left side at saka sa right side. Okay? So, ang gusto nating mangyari dito is we want to get a single value. Okay? A single value that will represent all that deviation. Okay? So, para siyang mean with respect to measuring the variability or variation of our data. So, from the mean, kuha tayo ng single value that will represent that dispersion. Okay? So, to illustrate, parang gagawa tayo ng highway. Okay? Yan yung highway natin for the left side, and then ito yung highway natin for the right side. Okay, so yung standard deviation natin dito, yung S na yan is 0.5. So yung nakuha natin na standard deviation in our calculation, let's say for this particular case here is 0.5. So yan yung dispersion natin, standard dispersion natin from the left side of our mean at saka right side of our mean. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag or essence natin ng standard deviation. Basically, if you're going to take a look at it, para siyang tolerance or margin of error, di ba? But standard deviation is different. It is just the dispersion of your data with respect to the mean. Okay? So, later on, we will appreciate the concept of standard deviation when we will compute the z-score. So, let me end this video first by asking this question. What do you think is the best scenario? For example, in stock price A, okay, you have the mean price is equal to 12.5, and then yung standard deviation niya is 1.25. And then yung stock B naman natin, you have 12.5, and then yung standard deviation natin of 5.25. Let me know in the comment section below. So if you have some questions or clarifications, please comment down below, and I will try to answer your questions as soon as I can. So good luck, and God bless.